Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your evolving host, Shorty. And today, there's a little bit of extra at the end of this one, if you're a Superman fan. But for now, we're just going to do Catwoman, The Lonely City. Another one of the DC Black Label ones, which I appreciate that they're doing it, and I appreciate that it's not just Batman and the Joker. But do you have to do them this size? It's just really awkward. Diamond UK doesn't have any magazine-sized comic bags in, and I can't, put them in boxes. It's a pain. But do what you got to do. Interestingly, with this one, it's all one person. It's Cliff Chang, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. I've only seen it written down. And when I say they're doing everything, I don't mean literally everything, not printing and publishing it, but writing it, doing the art, doing the colouring, doing the lettering, all the actual creativity side of it is all on them. So let's hope they're getting paid an awful lot of money for it. And it's all about Catwoman in an alternate timeline. Almost a what if, or is it what DC actually had Elseworlds to do this kind of story? But this one doesn't feel like it's... That's my phone going. This one doesn't feel as if it's in its own separate universe. It feels more like it's just one decision goes slightly differently, and it is a slightly odd timeline. This is not go back in time and have Superman arriving in the 1870s or whatever. This is just Catwoman existing in a world where, sorry about my phone, existing in a world where pretty much everyone else has died and she spent 10 years in jail. And now Harvey Two-Face Dent is mayor of Gotham. Masks have been outlawed. There is devices everyone's supposed to wear on their wrists so people can track, well, authorities can track where people are going. And money has pretty much been done away with in favor of G currency, I think it's called, which effectively gives a chance for a very, very nice single page little dig on, I've forgotten the word here, totally blank, the phone ringing has distracted me, gentrification. Where it's $20 for a coffee and a muffin in some high-end chain, but that high-end chain will not accept money, so he sends it to a bodega where it's $2.50. And it's a nice little dig there. I quite like that. And Cliff doing everything gives them the chance to, I mean, like literally everything, set their own stall. And I think if you're going to do that, you have to have confidence to do it. This is clear actually quite early on. Just in the artwork more than anything else. You have really simple lines. There's very little that's overdone except when it needs to be. Like there's scenes of the city, and to show like the slightly more advanced nature of Gotham rather than the gothic place that it usually is. There's a lot of glass and steel work, and you get a lot of detail on that one. But in terms of costumes and facial expressions, they keep it to a minimum quite nicely. They show the age of the various characters in the way they're sat in very simple little bits of a line under an eye or an extra little bit under the chin. It doesn't feel the need to go into the kind of full detail of every single bit of like tons of crow's feet and wrinkles and smile lines and all that. Confidence is key. And this comes into it in just one excellent page. I've already put this on our Instagram because I had to stop when I saw it. It's just absolutely brilliant. This page does an awful lot that I like, and confidence does play into it. Because I talk a lot about like what you can do with a page in comic books. The splash page, where it's just one solid image, which can even have that existing over several different points in time. Interesting page layouts, which drag the eye around and use that to tell a story. How you can show motion and kineticism in just a single point in time. This one doesn't really do that. Instead, it takes the time to show different periods in time, each one an actual snapshot, but then shows time progressing as a result of it. One of the easy ways to do this, and I quite like it, is guy on a skateboard there mid-trick. Now, if that was a skateboard in motion on the ground, that gives a sense, like even without motion lines or anything, that gives a sense of that happening as this image taking place. But up in the air like that, before it's even hit its apex, he's not quite brought his back foot down yet to ground the board. That is a snapshot. It's a very different way of showing what you're doing with time in it. And I genuinely love it. The fact that she's got her eyes closed in every single one of them. The fact that she is moving closer to the POV camera, whereas the city itself tends to stay at a remove. There's so much work gone into this for what's effectively quite a simple one-page thing of just Catwoman in thought walking through the city. There's also kind of a nice little bit in the background. Starro Pizza made me smile. The clothing is really quite nice here. You get to see the simplicity of it. The hair I particularly like. There's quite often in comic books, particularly female character-led superhero books, where the hair is like such a huge part of it. And I've always quite like the fact that recently Selena Kyle has gone for the short clipped hair. Barbara Gordon, when you see her, she's got cut really, really short. And it's kind of to show like a growth and a change, which is really, really effective. There's a lot I could talk about with the plot for this kind of thing, but running out of time, but I've ran out of time. Suffice to say, it's really well written too. Everything that Chang has done, they have done absolutely brilliantly, and I would highly recommend people check this out. That's the end of my Catwoman review. For a little bit extra now, I picked up the latest issue of Superman Son of Kal-El yesterday, and I've got to say, with all the hype that's been going on about this one, it feels kind of bad that issue 4 is actually the weakest one I've read so far. It's not to say it's bad. There's a change in artist, and some things they do well, some things they don't. I'm not necessarily a fan of the original artwork. It was good, but not great. But this one feels like it's gone for a slightly more simplistic viewpoint, and I'm not particularly keen on that. And it also feels like after everything that's happened in the first 3 of moving the plot along, this one feels like it's more holding for the next issue where big things are going to happen. Last issue ended with a huge event, and I get the impression next one's going to carry on that. But this is more just like a deep breath before the plot continues. And I do feel it's a bit of a shame that there's going to be a lot of people who are trying to pick it up right now who are going to struggle to get hold of issue 1, 2, and 3, who might just grab issue 4 and think, well, what's all the fuss about? It is still a good comic book, but it doesn't live up to the expectation. So if you're one of those people who's just picked up issue 4 or is going to grab it today and is going to be like, oh, well, I heard this is supposed to be brilliant. Trust me, it's still a good comic book, but there's way more going on with it. It's a damn shame that this is the one that's come out when all the hype's kicked off about it. Trust me, go and find a 1, 2, and 3 as well, or wait for the trade, put it down on a pull list, get the entire thing. It is worth it. It is brilliant. And that's it. Now I'm actually done. I'll be back tomorrow with another review. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.